Hey everybody, hope your week's going great. This is the workout for Wednesday, April 8th. It is called mashed potatoes. It's a 3-part workout that'll start on the 0, the 8-minute mark, and the 16-minute mark. So the workout's called mashed potatoes. On the 0, if you have equipment at home, a pull-up bar and a dumbbell, okay, you will do 5 rounds of strict Cindy and then 50 single dumbbell power cleans. Okay, on that 8-minute mark, you'll do 4 rounds of strict Cindy and then 40 goblet squats. Okay, and then on the 16-minute mark, you'll do 3 rounds of strict Cindy and then 30 alternating single arm squat clean thrusters. And we'll go over that here in a little bit. Just so you're aware, if you haven't done it before, strict Cindy is 5 strict pull-ups, 10 push-ups, and 15 air squats. That equals 1 round. So once again, 5 strict pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 air squats. That is 1 round of Cindy. So for that first one with those 5 rounds, you're gonna do that, those 3 movements 5 times before you move into those single dumbbell power cleans, okay? If you don't have equipment and you're using an odd object, you're gonna do 5 rounds of Cindy, S-I-N-D-E-E. I like how they renamed that. And for what Cindy is it will be 10 push-ups and 20 air squats will equal 1 round. So the Cindy, if you're doing it with no equipment, the S-I-N-D-E-E, will be 10 push-ups and 20 air squats will equal 1 round. Okay? So for that first round, starting on the 0, you'll do 5 rounds of Cindy and then 50 odd object ground to shoulder. So basically we're just gonna take that object, we're gonna pick it up, put it on our shoulder. Squat down on that shoulder, okay? On the 8-minute mark, okay, you'll move into 4 rounds of Cindy and then 40 odd object squats. So basically if we're using a backpack, we're gonna hold that backpack like a bag of potatoes, okay? And we're gonna do air squats that way, keeping that chest nice and upright. Okay, on the 16-minute mark, you're gonna do 3 rounds of Cindy, and then you're gonna do 30 odd object thrusters. So you're gonna probably take that backpack, if that's what you're using, hold that backpack up nice and high like it was up on your shoulders for that barbell, okay? And do that squat, drive it up into a thruster up at the top, okay? So for the warm-up, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 2 to 3 rounds of 30 seconds of dumbbell deadlifts or an odd object deadlift, okay? In that deadlift, so make sure we're keeping that back nice and flat, nice and tall, that chest up, and we're touching the floor. So each one, you can alternate hands if you so choose, okay? Once you've done those 30 seconds, then you're gonna need to find yourself a spot on the wall, okay? And we're gonna do 30 seconds of wall squats. It's a good time for a little air squat therapy. So we're gonna start off, put your toes up against the wall, take a note where your heels are at, step back so your toes are on that spot where your heels are. Your hands will be up in the air. And the whole object is to stay away from the wall and not touch it, okay? So we squat down and drive back up, I touch. And back up. If that's really easy for you, move closer to the wall. Try to get all the way down into that movement so that hip crease is below your knee and that chest is nice and upright, okay? Once you've done 30 seconds of wall squats, we're gonna do 20 overhead arm circles. If you have single plates, like smaller, like say 5-pound plates for your barbell if you have one, okay? You can hold those up in the air. Otherwise, just put those arms up in the air. 10 circles forward, okay? And then 10 circles backwards, okay? After you've done those, then we're gonna do inchworms. So, stand up, bend over, touch those toes, walk those hands out, and then I'll leave it to you. You can either walk your feet into your hands or walk your hands back up to your feet and get that good stretch in there. 2 to 3 rounds of that warm-up, okay? So let's talk a little bit about the workout. Each part of this workout is scored separately. So there's 3 scored parts. So you will mark down the time it takes you to complete on the 0 if you're doing it with equipment, the 5 rounds of strict Cindy, and then the 15 single dumbbell power cleans, okay? We want to try to get this done in roughly 5 to 7 minutes, so we have some built-in rest. So choose your weights, the weight of your odd object and all that stuff. Choose that weight and that variation, okay, that will get you within that 5 to 7 minute mark. We really want to try to get at least a minute of rest, okay, in there somehow, okay? Just to repeat also, each round starts on the 8. So your first round will start at 0 and go to 8 minutes, okay? On the 8 minutes, you're gonna start the second round, okay? Then the second round goes from 8 to 16. On the 16-minute mark, you will start the third round, okay? So let's shoot for large sets on these dumbbell movements and the odd object movements and all that stuff to try to get that accomplished, to get into that 5 to 7 minute mark. What I don't want you to do is I don't want you to think of this as a sprint, okay? Think of this as, like we talk about the bike and that kind of stuff, think of it as repeats of about 85 to 90% of your max effort, okay? So we don't want a red line. We want to be right there, but we still want to be able to continually keep moving that 85 to 90%, okay? Another thing to think about, or I should say that is in the workout, the power cleans and the squat clean thrusters, we have to alternate each arm, okay? So let's go over a couple of these movements here. I'm gonna use a dumbbell for this one. So single dumbbell power cleans, okay? They're gonna start from the floor, okay? You're gonna come up, power clean it and stand up. Back to the floor, switch sides, okay? Goblet thrusters, or goblet squats, sorry. We're gonna hold on to that just like in that goblet position. Feet nice and wide, our knees are gonna track out over our toes. That chest's gonna stay upright. And we're gonna squat down and back up, okay? Then, alternating single arm squat clean thrusters. This is gonna take a little bit of balance, okay? So, we're gonna take that dumbbell from the floor into that squat clean, drive it up into a thruster, okay? And then back down to the floor, switch sides. Squat clean, thruster. Okay? If you're using that odd object, like I said before, the ground to shoulder, okay? We're gonna take that, I always use a backpack. Take that backpack, bring it up, touch shoulder, down. Alternate each side, okay? Odd object squats. We're just gonna hold on to that odd object this way, and we're gonna do those air squats, okay? And then your odd object thrusters, you're gonna hold that back here, if that's what you're using, and we're gonna squat down at the top. Once we've fully extended, that's when we drive up overhead. We don't wanna go too early. So we're here, we're fully extended and drive, okay? So once again, don't redline this workout. Try to stay in that 85 to 90% of your max effort. And remember, each round starts on the 8. So try to get that at least 1 minute of rest in between each round. So work hard for that 5 to 7 minutes, take that rest, start up again on the next 8 minute mark, and have fun with this one, guys.